Medical terminology part one. This is an easy old school approach. Pay attention. I'm going to lay out the foundation. I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to be quick too because we don't want to be bored. The history, Greek and Latin, of course. It is the universal language of medicine. I mean, you could go to Europe and use this. Why? It's accurate. It's precise. That's why our founding forefathers of medicine didn't mean to drive us crazy. It just gives a precise, accurate detail to procedures, body parts, diseases, conditions. Let's begin learning. Let's go back to grade school because I know you all remember prefixes. Beginning of the word, right? Root word. Some teachers used to call them the word root, but I call it the root word. Main part of the word. And the suffix, of course, at the end of the word. Let's start with a few common prefixes. Pre, well, obviously, prefix. Pre for before, post, after, epi, upon or above, sub, underneath, like a submarine, peri, around, like the perimeter of your yard, or a periscope on a submarine. Right. Hyper, increased activity. This also could mean low, or I meant high. Hello. No, I'm not. Haha. Hyper. High, like a hyperactive child. Hypo, decreased activity, like hypoglycemia. So hypo, low. Low blood pressure, hypotension. Let's continue. It's a little harder to see, but these are some root words I picked out, and I'm going to use body parts to start. Hepato for liver. We've all heard of hepatitis. Cardio, we all know that with the heart. Hemo for blood, like hematology. Osteo for bone, like osteoarthritis. Dermo, skin, like if you went to see the dermatologist. Gastro is stomach, and myo is muscle. Just the tip of the iceberg, body parts. Let's move to suffixes. Of course, where? The end of the word, remember? Good. So, itis, inflammation. Yes, it means inflammation. But a lot of times it can be also associated with infection. Not always, but sometimes. I'm going to use vaginitis as an example with the vagina or the vajayjay. You have vaginitis due to an allergic reaction, creams, soaps, powders, what have you. But then you could also have vaginitis due to, say, a bacterial infection. So, just like bronchitis, you got a really bad cold. So it could be viral too. It just, anything that causes an infection usually causes inflammation. So it's interchangeable, but we do want to know for any exam, inflammation. Osis, simply abnormal condition. We've heard the term like bad breath, halitosis, but like if some people just say condition of, but in truth, remember, it signifies an abnormal condition. Ology, study of, from biology to sociology, pathology, we know that. Here's a fun one, urea, to flow, like diarrhea. You know I want to sing it if you're sliding in the but I won't. Okay. Urea, gonorrhea, etc. To flow. Ectomy, surgical removal. We've all heard of such things like a hysterectomy, a tonsillectomy. Last, plasty, surgical repair. Most common plasty is probably rhinoplasty, perhaps abdominoplasty with the stomach. But remember, it's not the organ. They're referring just to the abdominal area, usually for fat removal, skin removal, what have you. Plasty, surgical repair. So, if we're going to form a word using a suffix, let's look at a few and I'll challenge you. Inflammation of the liver, the root word's going to come first. So we're going to figure out what was that. If you wrote it down on a piece of paper, you could look at it. And I'm going to encourage all of you to write your work. Because I mean, we've been writing since forever. Well, since records were kept and not scribbling on cave walls. It just sinks into the brain a little deeper. So, liver, hepato, that's right. Inflammation, itis, hepatitis, yes. So think about it. Under the stomach. What was stomach again? Gastro. Under, sub. Oh, subgastric. That's the way it works. Around the heart. Peri is around. Pericardial. Abnormal condition of the stomach. Under the skin. Think about it. Subdermal. So you have to think about a rule though, because sometimes if you say things, it might not come out right. There's a rule, like if I said hepatitis, the letter O you saw earlier is the combining form, and it's there for a reason. It's all about pronunciation, but there's a rule. Ready? It's simple. Don't overthink it. If the suffix starts with a vowel, you drop the O. If it starts with a consonant, you keep it. Like plasty starts with a P. So when we're putting a root word with a suffix, we're just going to remember the rule. So we have here hepato, and I ask you, remember? Combined with itis, what would I do? Well, itis starts with an I, so obviously I'm going to drop the O, so I can say it easier, and it becomes hepatitis. Now, if I did a word that started with a consonant, like surgical repair, which is plasty, hepatoplasty. I kept the O. Hepatoplasty. Pronunciation, that's why it's there. Remember your rule. Let's do a few more. I'll let you do these on your own. Surgical repair of the heart, all the way to number 4, infection or inflammation of the stomach. Try to do them without looking at the answers, but I gave you the answers. Boom ya! Prefixes. Under the stomach, etc. Now, just think about what sounds right to your ear. On the last portion here, I wrote, if I said to you above the heart, what would sound right? Epicardical? Epicardial? Epicardiism? Well, there's all these words, endings, that have been around forever, from ism, ICAL, ARY, AL. There's a slew of them. Don't get wrapped up in studying all these. Just allow what sounds right to your ear to work. We've used these our whole life, from like I have here, fundamentalism, fanaticism, magical, practical, dictionary. So they're there for you. Radical and AC, like the alcohol cognac. But AC is used often in medicine. Cardiac, iliac. So we'll get into that a little bit. Don't overthink these word endings. Just allow what comes natural to your thought processes. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be right. And remember, those are not suffixes. They're just word endings that mean pertaining to. So like I said, don't get too wrapped up in them. Let us put all 3 words together. Let's do inflammation around the heart. Pericardial. Yeah, just sounds right. Pericardiacal. Pericardiary. No, it just doesn't sound right. Pericardial. Flow of blood from under the stomach. Now that's going to be the hardest one of the day. That's 4 words. I got 2 root words because I got blood and I got stomach. I got the word flow and I got the word under. So let's see. Sub, hemo, gastrouria. I use stomach first, probably because it's just the main organ. I let that kind of be a rule too. Surgical repair above the stomach. Epigastroplasty. And finally, abnormal condition under the liver. What was abnormal condition again? Oh yeah, that's right. Osis, like bad breath, halitosis. Okay, I can do this. Under is what? Hepato? No? Oh, I don't know which one comes first because you gotta think. Sub was a prefix. It's gonna come first. Subhepatoosis. Say it all together. Subhepatosis. It's pronunciation. It takes a while to work on it. Subhepatosis. Just the way you say things. You got this. And there's your answer. And if you look at number 2, once again, subgastrohematuria. It can be hemato or hemo. Either one is correcto. And I'll explain that later. Epigastroplasty. And the last one, pericarditis, a very real infection, can be very dangerous. See, associated with infection, even though it's inflammation. All right, so my mission, I'm going to take something complex, make it easy. I've always felt that way. Been teaching for over 20 years, and I just thought I would do this. If you like that, I have a site on Facebook with MA Prep Tutor, and I'm going to do a part 2 to follow. I'm just getting my feet wet. Thank you very much. Best of luck, and you got this.